What's up, y'all? It's me, Chris, once again, here to talk about a few boxing matches coming up this weekend. First off, we got a unification fight at junior welterweight. Timothy Bradley against Kendall Holt. Timothy Desert Storm Bradley, that is. Timothy Bradley's got a record of 23-0 with 11 KOs. Kendall Holt, 25 wins, 2 losses, 13 KOs. There's a height and a reach disadvantage or advantage, depending on which fighter. Timothy Bradley's 5'6" with a 69-inch reach. Kendall Holt is 5'9" with a 74-inch reach. So that may play a factor. Couple things about this. Bradley's coming off the win over Edwin Cherry. Before that, he had the split decision win over Junior Witter, where he won his title over in England. Kendall Holt's coming off the split decision win over Demetrius Hopkins. Close fight. Demetrius Hopkins was a late replacement. Not the most exciting fight. I thought Holt might win more impressively because Hopkins was a late replacement, but Hopkins gave a good account of himself. Actually, I was fortunate to ask Bradley a question about this fight last week on a 97 Roughs radio show, Leave It in the Ring, and I asked him if I thought Junior Witter posed a similar style as Kendall Holt does in the ring, and asked him if there's anything he learned in the Junior Witter fight that he could use for the Kendall Holt fight. And he said just to be patient, to not rush, and he's looking to take this fight into the late rounds and break Kendall Holt down. Also, Odin asked him about sparring partners, and he's using a few different sparring partners that bring similar looks to Kendall Holt. Not one guy that's actually able to simulate him, but a bunch of different guys that could bring a lot of things that Holt brings to the table. So it sounds like he's really focused and ready for this opportunity, or for this fight. Bradley looked good in the win over Cherry. To be honest, I haven't seen much of Timothy Bradley. The Witter fight was the first time I saw him fight. I've seen Kendall Holt a lot, over the years. He's very inconsistent. He reminds me somewhat of Zab Judah, similar style and not as much power, not as fast. I don't think he's as good as Zab Judah, but somewhat in that they look really good sometimes, and sometimes they really be puzzled on their performances. You think they could give a lot more of themselves, or he's just inconsistent in that way. Like pretty much, I'd say an example is the Mighty Mike Arnudis fight. He just didn't look really good in that fight, even though he did get the decision. Anyways, you can make this is a close fight. I can make a case for the guy. Kendall Holt being the bigger, stronger. Well, I don't know if he's stronger, but faster guy. I think he has a little bit better movement inside the ring. I could see him outboxing Bradley, especially I think in the middle of the ring. I think he could get the better of Bradley using his height and speed advantage. I think Bradley, what he's got to do is pressure, cut off the ring effectively, get Holt against the ropes or in the corners where he can kind of go to work. I think it'd be smart for him to go to the body. Take a little bit of steam out of Holt's legs for later in the fight, especially if he wants to break him down late, as he said he did, which I believe. So, I'm going to go with Timothy Bradley by decision in this fight. I do think Kendall Holt, like I said, is a faster fighter, a little bit more powerful, explosive, but I think Bradley's a little more consistent. He seems to be a guy that doesn't get frustrated in there, seems to be focused, sticks with the game plan, and I think that's what's going to get him the fight. I think it will go to a decision. Neither guy has a lot of KOs, although I do think Holt's the bigger puncher. He just doesn't take as many risks he did earlier in his career. I can't see Kendall Holt winning this fight as well by just staying on the outside and using his jab effectively, landing combinations. But I just, like I said, he's a very inconsistent fighter, and I think Bradley's pressure and work rate is going to be able to get him a decision in this one, and what should be a close fight. I do see it going all the way. Could be a draw. I could see a split decision, but I'm thinking maybe 7 rounds to 5 in Bradley's favor. Really looking forward to the fight, though, no doubt. Also, this weekend there's a little lightweight tournament coming up. It's kind of like a tournament on pay-per-view. Just going to give real quick thoughts on this fight. On these fights, first up we got Edwin Valero against Antonio Pitalua. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Valero's 24-0, 24 KOs. Antonio's 46-3 with 40 KOs. Antonio's coming off a 6-round TKO win over Jose Armando Santa Cruz, so that's a good win. Also, he's got a lot of knockouts, got a lot of wins in a row. But I see Valero winning this fight. Valero so far has proved to be the phenom that everyone talked him up to be, and I think it's going to take a little bit more special fighter to beat him than Antonio Pitalua. No disrespect, but I just think it's going to take someone more special than him, or a really good fighter, to beat Valero at this point. I see Valero winning this fight by KO or TKO because he's won all his fights by KO or TKO, so I don't see anything changing here. Next up we got Jesus Chavez against Michael Katsidis. Chavez is 44-4. Katsidis is 24-2. Big difference here is age. Chavez is 36. Katsidis is 28. To be honest, if this fight was both these guys, if Chavez was in his prime, I'd probably take him to win this fight. But I think he's a little bit past his prime. He's got a lot of ring rust or ring wear and tear on his body, and I see Katsidis winning this fight based on that. Chavez, I believe, went on a semi-retirement for a little bit after he had the knee injury against Julio Diaz. He's come back, he's had a couple wins since then, but I just think his best days are behind him, unfortunately. I do think he's a better skilled fighter, technically, and I do think he'll have his moments here and there. But I think that Katsidis, being the fresher fighter, as I said, naturally bigger and stronger man, I think his punches will take more toll, and I just think he's going to, use his youth to his advantage, so to speak. Not to say Katsidis doesn't have a lot of ring wear and tear himself. He's been in some real wars, but he is the bigger and stronger fighter, and I do think he's going to win this fight by a decision. Next up, we got Carlos Hernandez against Vicente Escobedo. Actually, it's supposed to be Jorge Barrios, but unfortunately he was injured. Escobedo's a late replacement. Hernandez, 43 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. Escobedo, 19 wins, 1 loss. Big age difference here again as well. Hernandez, 38 years old, to Escobedo's 27 years old. Hernandez has a lot of wear and tear himself. Once again, this is similar with the Chavez-Katsidis fight. I see the younger, bigger, naturally stronger guy winning this fight. Vicente Escobedo, I don't think he's quite lived up to the expectations Golden Boy Promotions had when they signed him, but he did look really good in his last one, a 6-round TK over Dominic Salcido. Finished that fight off with a beautiful combination. Although he's coming in real late notice, I do think he's going to win this fight. He was preparing to fight Kevin Kelly, so it's not like he wasn't in the gym training. And once again, I think, as with Katsidis, I think he's going to win this fight just being the naturally bigger guy, the fresher fighter with a little more in the tank. I do think it'll go to decision, but I see Escobedo winning the fight. Last up, Julio Diaz against Rolando Reyes. Diaz was supposed to fight Joel Casimiro. Unfortunately, Casimiro was also hurt and was pulled from the card. It's unfortunate. I think the card took a little bit of a hit with Barrios and Casimiro's injuries. Diaz, 36 wins, 4 losses, to Reyes, 30 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws. Diaz has 4 losses, but all 4 of his losses are quality losses, in my opinion. To quality fighters, I should say. He's lost to Juan Diaz, lost to Jose Luis Castillo. He lost to Angel Manfredi. That was a close decision. I actually thought Diaz won that fight, even though Manfredi got the decision. And he was KO'd by Juan Polo Valenzuela. Reyes, his one loss, the one fight that I remember seeing him in was he lost to Jose Luis Castillo. I believe he was also a last-minute replacement when the third Castillo-Corrales fight fell out. He didn't really show me much in that fight. That's the only time I saw him fight, but he didn't really show me much in that fight. His only real significant win, Reyes, that is over Stevie Johnston. But that was just a couple fights ago, and Stevie Johnston's well past his prime, as everybody knows. I see Diaz winning this fight by decision. I just think he's a better fighter. And Reyes is a really late replacement. Well, he's not really a late replacement. He is a late replacement, but I think Diaz is a better fighter anyway. I think he's going to win this fight by decision. Probably pretty clear cut. Hopefully it'll be a competitive fight. It should be a pretty good card. I'm probably not going to order it, but should be a pretty good night of fights for those that do. Definitely going to watch Bradley Holt, so I might be back on Sunday to give my thoughts. Not for sure yet, but until then, I'm out of here. Bye.